The scene opens at a high-stakes ceasefire banquet between the human and beastkin federations. Behind the glitz and glamour, however, a nasty plot is brewing among the elite. Well, well, if it isn't Officer Ching Ti. A bully sneers at the fallen heroine. Once an S-rank powerhouse, Ching Ti is now being treated like a slave, and the crowd watches as the mean girl prepares to humiliate her in front of everyone. Reduced to a level 5 beastkin, Ching Ti is left completely defenseless. She has been drugged with a potent aphrodisiac and can barely keep herself together. Were you demoted because your federation lost the war? The bully mocks cruelly. Ching Ti trembles as her body starts to melt from the intense forced heat. Suddenly, an icy presence enters the room, and the entire crowd freezes in fear. Do you even understand what you're saying? A powerful voice cuts through the noise. It belongs to Senior Officer Chen Zilan, a human S-rank who is absolutely terrifying and gorgeous. Desperate for help, Ching Ti clings to Zilan and begs for quick salvation. The spectators can't believe their eyes as these two former arch-enemies face off. Zilan looks down with a savage smirk, questioning Ching Ti's proper behavior, and pulls her close, her intentions unreadable and chaotic. From now on, she is to be my new pet, Zilan declares boldly. Everyone is stunned as the powerful officer carries Ching Ti away like a prize. Later, Ching Ti wakes up in Zilan's room, confused and still burning up. She looks up at the woman who saved her, wondering what comes next, when she spots a syringe on the floor that could be her only cure, an anti-aphrodisiac she desperately needs to survive the night. She tries to crawl toward it, hoping Zilan isn't paying attention, but Zilan is one step ahead and brutally stomps on the medicine. I feel so uncomfortable, Ching Ti begs, her eyes filled with desperate tears, a far cry from when she was the proud leader of the beastkin. Zilan looms over her, ready to settle some very old and bitter business. You ruined my work and spilled coffee all over me, Zilan reminds her, revealing that Ching Ti used to be quite the savage rival during the war. Zilan decides to return the favor by pouring cold tea over her head. Ching Ti flinches, looking absolutely pitiful as the liquid drips down her face, her only hope for a cure now crushed under Zilan's heavy boot. What will you do now? Zilan asks, looking like a total heartless villain. Ching Ti can only wonder what kind of crazy medicine she was just forced to take, as her captor smirks, threatening to show the whole world her embarrassing new look.
Outside, the city lights twinkle as the high-stakes drama reaches a boiling point. A flashback reveals that Ching Ti was actually a high-ranking officer on a secret mission, determined to resolve the war, even if it meant risking her own life. Her commander had warned her that her true identity must remain a total secret. Back in the present, Ching Ti struggles to keep her composure in this awkward situation. Zilan looks down at her with cold eyes and orders her to come closer, mocking her for adapting to the life of a pet so quickly. The mood turns tense as Zilan sits back, clearly enjoying her position of power. What do you actually want from me? Ching Ti asks, sensing a hidden agenda. She claims she was framed for the murder of the chairman's illegitimate son. Zilan admits that accidentally killing a lecher in her bed fits Ching Ti's reputation perfectly. But her sharp eyes aren't buying this story just yet. She wonders why she even bothered bringing this mysterious girl back to her home. Maybe it's because she wants to keep her around as a little plaything. But I don't trust you, Zilan says, her voice full of suspicion. Suspecting Ching Ti is hiding a listening device and demanding a full inspection. Ching Ti is mortified, wondering where a tiny device could even be hidden. Zilan just laughs, saying that kittens aren't supposed to wear clothes anyway. She asks Ching Ti for her thoughts, but the poor girl is frozen in fear. Zilan leans in close, noting that her new pet has a surprisingly good figure, and asks why she's trying to hide when they already had a deal. How should I check? Ching Ti stammers, her face turning bright red. Zilan forces her mouth open, claiming the military hides things in the strangest places, then holds her chin firmly, making excuses for the invasive act. Ching Ti snaps back, telling her to move her hands if she's so helpless. Zilan gives her a cold, calculating look that says she's totally in control, and Ching Ti can only mutter, "Master," as she's forced to submit to the officer's whim. Zilan decides to trust her for now, pulling her into a suffocatingly close embrace. She toys with Ching Ti's cat ears, reminding her that she is the master here, and as a reward for being good, drapes a heavy military jacket over her. Ching Ti offers a fake thank you, just trying to survive the awkward tension, though internally, she is fuming because the jacket smells like a gross war demon. Once alone, she realizes she hasn't seen the boss since that strange clothing delivery. Ching Ti congratulates herself for hiding her communication chip where the arrogant general wouldn't think to look, betting on the fact that Ceylon is too proud to repeat herself. Still, she grows nervous when her contact fails to send any information. She decides to catch some sleep while the general is busy with work, unaware that a hidden camera is recording her every move. Ceylon watches the footage, joking about sending her off to work at a cat cafe. Her secretary warns her that Ching Ti is full of dangerous and clever tricks, but Ceylon just smirks, knowing her opponent has always been a smart one. She demands to know the results of the investigation into the Federation chairman, revealing that the chairman's illegitimate child died under disgraceful and secret circumstances. Ceylon is determined to dig up every secret Ching Ti is hiding. Back in the room, the general finds Ching Ti lounging as if she's on vacation. Ching Ti is shocked to see her back from work so early and notices something terrifying. Ceylon's rank has already jumped up to 5 stars. The general leans in close, whispering that Ching Ti is clearly confused about her situation. Ceylon tosses her hat aside and gives her exactly 5 minutes to change, mocking her for planning to go out dressed the way she is. The master leans in close with a predatory gaze, making it clear who's in charge. "You might not mind losing face, but as your master, I still care," she sneers. Ching Ti has no choice but to rush off and change before her time runs out. A gloved hand reaches out, a cold reminder of the leash around her neck. Ching Ti looks breathtaking in her new white dress, though her heart is heavy. "Your waist is so soft, even I can't help but like it," Ceylon whispers, her touch possessive as she inspects every inch of her new pet. Ching Ti is fuming internally, convinced this is just another way to humiliate her, hating how this woman keeps reminding her of her current pathetic situation. Ceylon casually asks what kind of lipstick she prefers, offering to buy her some, but instead of a gift, she leans in for a sudden, aggressive kiss. Ching Ti's eyes go wide, caught completely off guard by the assault. The master pulls back with a smirk, satisfied by the shock on her face, then decides she's bored of the current collar and promises to find a better one. Ching Ti nervously wonders if her master knows about the spikes hidden inside the leather, privately admitting that Ceylon is stunning, even if her heart is as black as night. She slowly removes the collar, feeling the weight lift for just a second. "If I knew we were this in sync, I'd have won you over sooner," Ceylon teases, handing over a new restraint that makes it clear Ching Ti is never truly free. "Since everything is settled, let's head out," the master commands with a cold smile.
They arrive at the Beast Arena, a place that represents everything Ching Ti hates. She watches the cruelty unfolding before her, her face pale with horror, resolving to stay strong, even as Ceylon licks blood from her wounded hand. Ching Ti realizes that while others fight for survival, her own life now belongs to her master. "No need to trouble yourself, master," she says, trying to stay calm. They arrive at a grim cemetery filled with the nameless victims of the war. Ching Ti is on a mission to gather evidence and bring this villain down. Ceylon leads her through the field of graves, looking far too comfortable, and points out a skeleton, the man Ching Ti killed, his remains dug up and desecrated in the open. "That's the guy who tried to bully you," Ceylon whispers with a smirk, pulling her close and asking if she feels properly taken care of now. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife as they lock eyes. Ching Ti can only gasp as her master tightens her grip, Ceylon seeming to enjoy the panic radiating off her little pet. Ching Ti screams internally, wondering why this pervert is doing this here, questioning if it's all just a twisted plan to humiliate her further. "What a pity you don't remember any of it," Ceylon sighs dramatically, reminding her that her current slave status is entirely her own fault. "If you were me, would you believe this story?" Ching Ti asks herself internally. Ceylon knows her little kitty still doesn't believe a word, and says that back in the day, Officer Ching knew exactly what kind of women she liked. "If I could, I would kill her with my own hands," Ching Ti thinks, believing every sacrifice she made was supposedly for the sake of a lasting peace. "No ghost would dare bully you while I'm around," Ceylon promises. Ching Ti is sweating bullets, feeling the walls of the graveyard closing in, when she suddenly remembers the communicator is still hidden inside her beast ears. Ceylon smirks at the guards, mocking them for turning pale with fear, then scoops Ching Ti up in her arms and carries her away like a trophy. Dark feathers drift through the air as they make their dramatic exit. "Since my cute pet doesn't like it here, let's leave," she declares. Ching Ti panics internally, wondering if the woman noticed her hidden communicator.
Ceylon leans in close, asking if Ching Ti knows what she first thought of her.
Ching-Ti fumes, wishing she could punch that smug face into the next century. Zilan warns that her subordinates would do much worse than simply humiliate her. In the back of the car, she gets dangerously close, teasing a scandalous performance, and Ching-Ti finds herself trapped as the dominant woman looms over her. Zilan claims she's the only one who can protect Ching-Ti's dignity. They pull up to a massive building in a very suspicious part of town, the red light district, and Ching-Ti realizes she's in serious trouble, certain that Zilan is a total pervert for bringing her to a place like this. Still, she tries to stay calm, drawing on her past training in this district. A hostess greets them immediately, recognizing the high-ranking officer. Zilan stakes her claim, petting Chang-Ti's head like a literal animal, ignoring the standard menu and ordering 2 glasses of the strongest liquor available. Chang-Ti recognizes the drink as Sunset Coral, a dangerously potent brew. Just 1 glass is enough to make even the toughest drinker black out for days. A hand reaches for the deadly cocktail as the trap is set. Chang-Ti tries to refuse, but Zilan isn't taking no for an answer, smirking as she clearly enjoys the total control she has over her. She mocks Chang-Ti's weakened state now that her rank and power are gone, then suddenly forces the drink down her throat in a scandalous display. "You pervert!" Chang-Ti screams internally, struggling against the heat of the alcohol as the forced drink makes her senses begin to swirl. Zilan pulls back with a satisfied look, whispering that it wasn't bad, while Chang-Ti glares through the haze, knowing the woman is enjoying this torture. Trying to play it safe, Chang-Ti asks if her bullies are the only bad guys. Zilan challenges her, asking if she thinks she's a villain too. Chang-Ti puts on her best act, claiming her master is a saint for saving her. Zilan laughs at the innocent logic, leaning in for the kill and offering a dark deal. Kiss her first, and she'll kill everyone who hurt her. Chang-Ti plays along with the deal while secretly testing her master's intentions, telling her to stop looking so thirsty because nothing is happening. The commander knows this place is dangerous and won't leave her pet alone, sitting back and plotting how to make her completely dependent on her. Relying on me is her only hope for survival, she thinks with a smirk. Meanwhile, a warning comes in about a massive purge coming to the floor, and Chang-Ti realizes she's walking on thin ice and must be careful. But the commander can't resist teasing her and grabs that fluffy tail again. Suddenly, Chang-Ti notices Zilan staring at the restroom with suspicious eyes, and panic sets in as they wonder if their secret cover is finally blown. The commander sweeps her up, complaining about how spoiled this little fox is.
Later, Ching-Ti switches back into her professional military uniform for serious business, digging through files to find dirt on her very clever archenemy. She knows a high-ranking beastman like herself wouldn't leave any obvious evidence. Her assistant rushes in, reminding her that she has a meeting to attend. "Let them wait for now," she commands, focusing entirely on the investigation. She pauses at the board, checking her own identity before making a move, then enters the secure room, ready to use her 10 minutes for research. Commander Zilan is deep in the archives, hunting for a secret hidden within the pages. The files don't seem like much, but she knows something is definitely off. She overhears her subordinates gossiping about a group of captured beastmen informants, and putting the books away, she listens as they mention a mysterious S-rank fugitive named Washin. Apparently, catching this man is the only way to end the current power struggle. Zilan's eyes narrow as she realizes her men are wasting time on idle rumors, and she steps out from the shadows, catching the lazy soldiers completely off guard. "One more word and you're both kicked out of the Federation," she warns. The terrified men quickly salute as their icy commander marches away. Meanwhile, Ching-Ti's fox ears twitch as she receives a secret message from Washin. She realizes the informant is moving against the Federation's 5th layer, since Washin is the most vital link between the humans and the beastmen. She begs her superior for any scrap of information on his identity. "He's a high-ranking officer in the human military, and that's all you get," the woman replies. Ching-Ti nods, realizing they are both risking everything to stop the war. Even though they've never met, she feels a strange bond with this mysterious man, and wonders if their combined efforts will finally be enough to bring peace. Suddenly, the door swings open and the cold Commander Zilan enters the room. Ching-Ti rushes to her side, worried that her master is displeased with her. But Zilan isn't interested in a warm welcome and roughly grabs her hair, pulling her close, her gaze burning with an unreadable intensity.
"Master, please," Ching-Ti whimpers, trembling under the commander's heavy touch. She nervously asks why Zilan once tried to change the Federation's marriage laws. Zilan explains that the government only cares about birth rates, ignoring the hearts of the people, then leans in and licks Ching-Ti's face, marking her like a piece of property. Ching-Ti is left stunned, wondering if the commander is truly as heartless as she seems. Visions of blood on the battlefield suddenly flash through the commander's mind. She remembers the comrades she lost on the eve of the law's passing, her heart hardening as she recalls the mastermind who started this entire nightmare. "I will bring down Zealand's enemy no matter what it takes," she vows silently. Snapping back to the present, she stares down at her trembling foxgirl. "As my pet, you need to start making me happy," she demands coldly, asking if Ching-Ti bites, her voice sending a chill down her spine. Ching-Ti is terrified, thinking she's about to be turned into a literal attack dog, realizing with a jolt that she's been brought into the heart of the human government. Heavy footsteps echo through the hallway as the commander leads her deeper into the lion's den. The chief secretary warns the commander that Ching-Ti was once a high-ranking orc official. Ching-Ti knows she is a walking vault of secrets that could destroy everything, so she plays the victim, whispering that she's terrified, just to drive a wedge between them. The commander doesn't hesitate a second and orders her secretary to get out. Stung by the sudden dismissal, the secretary fumbles for words to defend herself, absolutely fuming and biting her lip in pure frustration as she loses her influence. As she retreats, she wonders what kind of spell Ching-Ti has cast over the commander. Ching-Ti internally cheers, knowing that weakening the commander's inner circle is a massive win. She feels a firm hand pull her closer, the commander's touch sending shivers down her spine. Looking into those cold eyes, she wonders if she is just another toy in this woman's collection. "I won't allow her to appear in front of you again," the commander promises smoothly. Ching-Ti pouts, realizing her plan to cause drama backfired since the target is gone. She warns herself to stay sharp, or she'll end up falling into this dangerous honey trap. Is the commander just like all the other fools? She wonders, searching for a weakness. Before she can react, the commander pulls her into a sudden and breathless kiss. The room spins as Ching-Ti is caught completely off guard by the aggressive move. The commander pins her down, asking if she remembers the building right across the street. Ching-Ti remembers standing by that window in her past, watching her enemy from afar. Now she is being humiliated against the glass right in front of her former headquarters. The commander mocks her, saying it's a pity she didn't realize how thrilling this is, then warns Ching-Ti to stay put and avoid getting caught. She slams the door shut, leaving Ching-Ti all alone. Ching-Ti notices the room is packed with surveillance cameras, sensing a trap, but she isn't scared. She's ready to seize this golden opportunity. Using her tail, she begins poking around the commander's desk and spots a book that's standard issue for every federal office. It's a boring history book, but she decides to take a peek anyway. Who actually reads this superficial stuff, she wonders, flipping the pages. Suddenly, a mysterious piece of paper slips out and hits the floor. She picks it up, wondering if the cold commander has a secret lover, but it turns out to be a photo of the commander looking fierce while standing over defeated enemies. Eventually, the boring text wins and Ching-Ti starts to drift off, the office going quiet as she finally succumbs to her exhaustion. Back at the meeting, the commander is busy checking her phone, surprised that Ching-Ti fell asleep so fast in such a dangerous place. It doesn't seem like she's faking it, she muses, ignoring the officials. She tells the team to keep her updated and wraps things up quickly. As the meeting adjourns, her eyes stay glued to the screen, wondering if her heroine is truly this defenseless or just a great actor. Ching-Ti is still dead to the world, looking completely vulnerable. The commander returns and gently scoops her pet into her arms. Ching-Ti groggily wakes up, wondering where on earth she is, and finds herself buckled into the passenger seat while the commander drives. She's suspicious, knowing the commander's high-ranking status in the military. "Don't you want to go?" the commander asks, and Ching-Ti promises to obey. Zealand leans in close, telling her she's way too obedient to ever let go. Ching-Ti is instantly suspicious of that satisfied smirk on her captor's face. They finally arrive at the massive Beastmen Management Bureau to make things official. The staff starts gossiping, but Zealand snaps at them to shut up and lead the way.
Ching-Ti tries to play it cool, calling Zilan an arrogant maniac in her head. Suddenly, Zilan drops a bombshell that leaves her completely speechless. "Why don't you beg me?" Zilan whispers, acting as though the type of contract doesn't even matter. Ching-Ti panics, realizing that a marriage contract would mean being tied to this woman forever. Zilan secretly thinks that if Ching-Ti had just asked nicely, she might have actually agreed. They head into the conference room, where the atmosphere is thick with tension. The officials look nervous as Zilan stands her ground with an icy stare. She picks up the pen but isn't ready to sign the standard papers just yet, asking instead if the pet contract cancels automatically once a beastman's power level recovers.
"Give me a new contract," Xylan demands, sending the staff into a total tailspin. The officials can't believe their ears as they stare at her in pure shock. "What kind of contract do you want?" the staffer asks, trembling with fear. Xylan calmly requests a companion contract, which is strictly forbidden for low-level beastmen, mocking them and asking if their precious rules are actually as absolute as they claim. She regrets not doing this sooner, realizing she's been far too patient. Even though the staff begs her to reconsider, Xylan has already made her mind. She wants her little kitten to have the freedom to explore the world. Ching-Ti sits there looking like a lost puppy while the high-stakes negotiation finishes. Xylan explains that she needs to check her pet's physical condition before signing anything, lifting Ching-Ti's chin and looking deep into her eyes with an intense gaze. An assistant rushes over to hand her a mysterious silver key. Xylan carefully unlocks the heavy metal collar, revealing the painful marks underneath, and replaces it with a soft pink ribbon, claiming Ching-Ti as her exclusive kitten. Ching-Ti smirks, claiming she's happy as long as she gets what she wants, but Xylan isn't playing around, asking if she wants to know how she skins beasts. Ching-Ti's heart pounds against its ribs as she stares back in pure terror. In this federation, humans and beastmen live in a fragile, often bloody balance. The wilderness beasts are used for the Colosseum, and nobody is crazy enough to provoke them. The heavy boots of the military remind everyone who really holds the power here. The master is a cold-blooded hunting machine who only cares about the next slot. "I want to stay by your side, master," Ching-Ti pleads, trying to act the part. Xylan just laughs, calling her a brainwashed fool who lost all her wits, and warns her that if she ever lies, she'll be skinned. They stand together in the hall, a dangerous pair that nobody dares to cross. The guards watch from the sidelines, absolutely disgusted by the scene unfolding. The master wonders if this little pet is just testing her reaction. Ching-Ti doubles down, hugging her master's arm and asking if being a pet is really so bad, determined to get a pass no matter how much she has to grovel. The master grabs her chin, demanding she shows some real sincerity. One of the high-ranking officers is losing his mind, feeling humiliated by the whole display. Ching-Ti tells him this place is her true home now, ignoring his rage, while the officer fumes, his pride shattered by a girl he considers a traitor. The master tells the guards to back off and let the drama play out, wanting to see if her little kitty still has any fight left in her. Suddenly, Ching-Ti moves with a lightning speed, dodging the officer's clumsy attack, a blur of motion, proving she isn't just a pretty face. With a sharp strike, the message is clear. The officer has already lost. He grovels on the floor, while she stands over him with cold eyes. "You're a traitor to the Orc Federation," he screams, but she doesn't care. The master sweeps her up into her arms, reminding her she's alone in this world. "I will obey your every order, master," Ching-Ti whispers, playing her cards right. The master carries her away, telling her to hold on tight for the next opportunity. Behind them, the defeated officer clenches his fist in absolute silent fury. "I'll send you to hell," he bellows, but the two are already gone. As they head out, Ching-Ti asks if she can choose their next destination. The master reminds her that betraying her own kind is a one-way trip, but Ching-Ti is already planning her next move regarding the Mist Mountain operation, needing to ensure the safety of an informant hidden deep in the mountains. She remembers her days as a high-ranking official, when she only wore custom military uniforms. The master smirks in the car, asking if she prefers those erotic outfits instead. Ching-Ti leans in close, asking if the master is looking forward to seeing her wear them. The master mentions that brainwashing usually restores a person's original personality, and Ching-Ti wonders if she even remembers who she used to be. The Federation only wants ruthless soldiers, not emotional girls in uniforms. The master stares at an old photo, mesmerized by Ching-Ti's youthful beauty. "Show me the real you," the master whispers, preferring a wild nature.
Since Ching Ti can handle orcs, the master finally grants her some freedom. Just don't cause trouble for me, she warns, while promising more space. They head to the mall, where the frilly dresses are on display. The master thinks Ching Ti is subtly protesting the boring clothes she's been given, and decides floral skirts actually suit her delicate and refined nature. While waiting, the master receives a mysterious text and checks her messages, keeping her eyes on the phone while Ching Ti slips away. The master stands outside the dressing room, unaware of the betrayal inside. Ching Ti is secretly ordering a top-secret dossier on her own master.
Ching Ti fears the Human Federation is closing in on her true identity. I can't reveal I'm an S-class informant, she thinks while typing. Suddenly, Zilan rips the curtain open and demands to know the truth. Ching Ti nearly jumps out of her skin, hiding the evidence instantly, and plays it cool, claiming her pink dress is just being difficult. Zilan steps in to help, her gloved hands reaching for the zipper, a tense moment as she fixes the stuck dress with ease. You were always the slowest at getting dressed as a kid, Zilan chuckles. Ching Ti admits she hasn't worn pink since her mother died, having felt her mother's death was a punishment for her own selfishness. She recalls joining the Federation at the tender age of 5. Zilan realizes they both joined the military around the same time, and Ching Ti gathers her courage to ask about her master's own family history. Ching Ti is chilled to the bone by Zilan's casual tone. They annoyed me, so I killed them, Zilan says with a smile. I just want to know why the master is so unhappy, Ching Ti wonders. Zilan smirks, deciding that Ching Ti is finally ready for the dark truth, and reveals a tragic past of abusive relatives who stole her parents' inheritance. They even killed her puppy and lied, saying the poor thing just ran away. In response, she murdered them all and burned their house to the ground. Ching Ti realizes Zilan didn't just kill for fun, she killed for revenge. As my pet, you must not betray me, the master warns darkly, pulling Ching Ti close and whispering, I will definitely eat you, before kissing her. The kiss is intense, leaving Ching Ti completely dazed and out of breath. Zilan pulls back to admire her handiwork, noting the dress suits her perfectly. How can a master's pet not be interested in the master, she teases. She continues her story, explaining her path from a dark orphanage to the military. You always look so beautiful, she says, treating Ching Ti like a living doll, but the master has a much more scandalous preference for her pet's wardrobe and decides it's time for a change of scenery, promising a nice trip. Ching Ti is baffled when they arrive at a bright, cheerful amusement park. Zilan admits she was never allowed to have fun when she was young, but they aren't here for rides. They're here for a secret meeting. They descend into a hidden basement far away from the happy crowds above. Zilan knocks on a heavy door, and a voice tells them to enter. They step into a bar where a man with a mustache awaits them. Ching Ti notes the heavy scent of alcohol could blow the park sky high. The doctor sneers at her, calling her a pitiful, brainwashed pet, and Ching Ti realizes the doctor saw right through her act at a single glance. He demands to know her brainwashing level and tells her to take a seat. Is he using a wine bottle as a magnifying glass? Ching Ti thinks, feeling totally scammed. The doctor points a finger and declares her brainwashing is at the highest level. Though Ching Ti knows the truth, the procedures were fake, meant to deceive the military. Zilan pats her head and tells her to go play for a while.
The doctor asks if they should send guards to follow the girl's every move. Zylan scoffs, claiming her people are everywhere in this massive amusement park. The doctor laughs, teasing that she's looking for a wife out of pure boredom, and chugs his wine, asking if she's worried the girl forgot her past. You're just a perverted maniac, he sneers, not holding back his sharp tongue. Zylan ignores the insult, asking if the girl has lost her childhood memories. The doctor pauses to think, remembering what really happened in that operating room. Half a month ago, the doctor promised Director Ching he wouldn't truly brainwash her, but Ching Ti insisted on the procedure to ensure Zylan never suspected her. The doctor reluctantly agreed, promising to protect her brain from any permanent damage, and wished her a good night as she drifted off into a forced slumber. A small, secret smile plays on her lips as the darkness finally takes over. Back in the present, Ching Ti wanders through the most chaotic part of the park. It's a dangerous place where intelligence organizations are born and wiped out daily. She touches her collar, hating these shackles of humiliation placed on her kind. Pets have no human rights, she fumes, her inner self absolutely losing it. She approaches the gate, ready to execute her secret plan. While no one's watching, the guard is stunned to see she's bound by a rare symbiotic contract. Ching-Ti is floored that Xilan actually chose a contract of equals. The dark-haired officer, Xilan, is struggling for her life on the ride. Ching-Ti thinks she's a total pervert for making such a scene, absolutely fuming that this woman is ruining her mood. "One day I'll kill you with my own hands," she swears internally. Once they're off, Xilan is literally dying over a trash can. Ching-Ti hands over a tissue, but she's definitely not feeling any sympathy and starts plotting her next move regarding the information she wants on Chief Ki. Jasmine pipes up, calling both Chief Ching and Chief Xilan unmatched perverts. Ching-Ti tells herself to endure the nonsense for the sake of the mission.
Suddenly, the real leader, Qing Xiao, arrives, looking sharp and incredibly intimidating. Jasmine realizes the heroine belongs to Officer Xilan and makes a snarky comment, knowing Jasmine is a top-tier spy who can switch faces instantly. Jasmine teases them about being rivals in love while trying to please their master. Such words should not be spoken so carelessly, Leader Qing Xiao warns coldly, and Jasmine takes the hint, quickly leaving the two of them alone. Leader Qing Xiao leans in, telling her to just ask if she wants to share a bit, and asks if Ching-Ti is actually afraid of the roller coaster. Ching-Ti plays it sweet, holding her hand and saying she's safe with her master, secretly just waiting to hear the leader scream in terror. She clings to Qing Xiao on the ride, faking a total meltdown for the cameras. But Qing Xiao isn't even flinching, thinking this level of fear is child's play. They step off the ride, and the leader looks completely unfazed, mocking Ching-Ti for being scared after all her intense military training. "Can you guess what I was thinking back then?" Qing Xiao asks, lifting Ching-Ti's chin and admitting she just wanted to see her beauty. The past was a brutal battlefield where only the strongest survived. Xilan remembers the days when she had to fight for every breath. Back then, the men in the camp did nothing but spread disgusting rumors about her, claiming she'd only reached the top by using her face to seduce the higher-ups. Little did they know she was busy calling them a bunch of pathetic fools, walking through the crowds with a cold gaze and ignoring their petty jealousy. Meanwhile, the blonde officer, Ching-Ti, was proving her own dominance on the field. "How come no one dares to step forward now?" she mocked the fallen soldiers. Xilan watched it all, thinking that anyone who displeased her deserved to die. Now that she's at the top, she wants to break Ching-Ti's will and claim it. Ching-Ti can't help but think her master is the ultimate arrogant scumbag. Despite the insults, her heart starts racing as she looks at the woman above her, knowing Xilan used the horrors of war to climb the social ladder. "Master, won't you feel lonely?" she asks, sensing the void inside her, wondering how such a complex woman could ever end up as a war criminal.
Their deep moment is interrupted when an attendant calls for Director Xilan. Xilan demands a private ride, claiming she hates being near strangers. Ching-Ti pouts, remembering they were just on a roller coaster with a dozen random people. "Come over here right now," Xilan commands, her voice leaving no room for argument, and Ching-Ti obediently follows her master into the private Ferris wheel cabin. Xilan wants the world below to look up and see exactly who she possesses. "How can I let them see us kissing?" Ching-Ti whispers, her face turning red, but Xilan doesn't care about the audience and pulls her in for a heated kiss. This display of absolute control is exactly what her dark heart desires. The cabin sways precariously in the air as they lose themselves in the moment. From the ground, an observer notes that Chief Xilan is finally losing her composure, thinking it's only natural to fall for someone as charming as Officer Ching-Ti. But there's a secret Ching-Ti doesn't know. Xilan is actually deathly afraid of heights. Oblivious to the fear, Ching-Ti asks if this entire park belongs to her master. The master leans in close, asking exactly where her memories start. Ching-Ti admits she only remembers being 5 or 6 years old. Hearing the truth makes the master's heart ache with a a dull, involuntary pain. She asks if the brainwashing was agonizing, and Ching-Ti mentions the needles. "If Master kisses me, I won't feel the pain anymore," she suggests playfully. The Master can't resist those puppy eyes and pulls her into a deep kiss. But even in this moment, she wonders if this girl really started the war. It makes no sense for a war criminal to be kept so gently. She clenches her fist, vowing to uncover the hidden truth behind it all. Later that night, the Master starts stripping down, shocking her poor fox girl. She shows off a killer physique that leaves Ching-Ti absolutely speechless and blushing. Ching-Ti is sweating bullets as she stares at her Master's toned midriff. "What? Have you never seen a naked woman before?" the Master asks with a smirk, holding out her arms and demanding help with her stubborn belt. Ching-Ti approaches nervously, her heart thumping loudly against her chest. Suddenly, she gets bold and asks to take a bath together. The Master shuts her down, reminding her that she's mentally a toddler right now, and walks away to the shower, leaving a very frustrated fox girl behind. Ching-Ti sulks on the bed, her ears pinned back in annoyance, her body language screaming that she's totally miserable right now. Xylan notices the cold shoulder and starts teasing her. "You don't want to sleep with me?" she asks with a smirk, playfully grabbing Ching-Ti's tail and refusing to let the poor thing go. Ching-Ti jumps, her heart doing backflips as Xylan leans in close. Xylan spots an old mark and asks when she got that injury. Ching-Ti claims a stray cat scratched her when she was a child, but Xylan's eyes soften as she gets lost in her own memories, mentioning a little dog she once tried to save from drowning.
In a flashback, a young Xilon dives into a dangerous, raging river. A brave calico cat suddenly appears to fight off a group of bullies. Xilon wanted to adopt her, but the cat just scratched her and vanished. Back in the present, Xilon stares deeply into Ching-Ti's fierce eyes. It's the exact same look as that brave stray from her childhood, and she wonders how a girl with her background ended up in this place. "Good night," Xilon whispers, gently stroking her hair before they drift off. The next morning, Ching-Ti wakes up and feels something is wrong. Xilon is still in bed, her face flushed a terrifying shade of red. Ching-Ti panics and grabs a thermometer to check the damage. It reads a staggering 42 degrees, which is basically a death sentence for a human. Xilon is burning up with a fever worse than any ordinary person, and her loyal cat-eared companion insists she takes her medicine before drifting off. Just a few movements leave her completely drained after being confined. Ching-Ti sighs. As Xilon complains about having to do all the work, "Master, are you awake?" Ching-Ti whispers, leaning in close with those big eyes, finding her hovering right over her, looking more worried than ever. "You need to get up and take this right now," Ching-Ti commands. Xilon stares at the tiny pill, already dreading the bitter taste. Ching-Ti warns that the more bitter the medicine, the faster it works. Xilon internally screams that this inhumane invention is basically a war crime. Seeing her hesitation, Ching-Ti wonders if it could really be that bad. Xilon admits the fever is just a side effect of her crushing fear of heights. "But you were perfectly fine on the roller coaster," Ching-Ti exclaimed in shock, realizing she shouldn't have exposed such a glaring weakness. Xilon explains she parachuted repeatedly to force herself to overcome the terror, and Ching-Ti can't believe how brutally harsh she is on her own body. Ching-Ti pulls the blanket up, whispering that she'll do exactly as she says, having no intention of submitting to anyone weaker than herself. The commander admits she once tried to kidnap a beauty before a war ruined her plans, and that chaotic conflict kept her busy enough to forget the poor girl entirely. Later at the office, Ching-Ti looks sharp and professional in her military uniform, but she's busy picking calico fur off her clothes, complaining that keeping a cat is hard. Her secretary watches in total confusion, unable to understand what her boss is thinking, and offers to call pet management for a specialized fur removal solution. Ching-Ti snaps, tossing her jacket and demanding the secretary just use a dry cleaner, remembering she woke up covered in fur after sleeping beside her little pet while sick. Walking through the halls, her subordinates couldn't stop staring at her hairy outfit. A colleague explains that lower-tier beastmen like Ching-Ti simply can't control their shedding. The commander sighs, wondering where on earth she should send this messy girl. While at Federation headquarters, a very important meeting is finally underway.
Suddenly, the commander takes a call, gently telling her kitty to go buy some cheesecake. The room goes silent as the icy leader speaks with a terrifyingly soft voice. A subordinate nervously asks if she's actually fallen for that Beastman woman. Zilan just smirks, claiming she's just a cute little kitty that needs raising, but the staff nearly faints when they spot suspicious red marks on her neck. The director tells her staff to clean toilets because their mouths are absolutely filthy. Her subordinate nervously warns that if her pet is an undercover agent, there will be trouble. Director Zilan's gaze turns sharp enough to kill as she stares them down. "Are you trying to teach me how to do things?" she demands, making them tremble. Meanwhile, Ching-Ti is navigating a shady alleyway to reach a neon-lit bar. She notes that low-level beastmen have holes in their pants because they can't retract their tails, but luckily she's wearing a long shirt she borrowed from Zilan's own wardrobe. She meets with director Ching Xiao, who wonders if she's afraid of being caught. Ching-Ti claims Zilan is way too busy with federal affairs to notice her. Ching Xiao reveals that the police are moving in to capture Wen tomorrow evening. Ching-Ti agrees to help, but insists that Wen's safety must be guaranteed. Ching Xiao then gets nosy, asking how far she's actually progressed with the director. Ching-Ti huffs, complaining that Zilan is way too guarded and totally unromantic, wondering if the director is still suspicious or just completely uninterested in her. Ching Xiao smirks, suggesting that she needs to stop waiting and take the initiative, teasing that her face alone is enough to make anyone fall in love. Suddenly, a hand reaches out and grabs Ching Xiao's arm with a terrifying grip. It's Zilan, and she looks like she's ready to commit a crime. She warns Ching Xiao to back off before things get incredibly ugly for her, pulls out a stack of cash, and tells her to get lost. Ching Xiao takes the money and quickly retreats, leaving Ching-Ti in the hot seat. The director immediately notices that her pet is wearing her favorite white shirt and asks if she's afraid of all the wolves lurking around here. Ching-Ti tries to play it cool, praising the high-quality fabric of Zilan's clothes.
Ching-Ti realizes Ching Xiao was right about the director being a possessive nightmare. Zilan towers over her, holding a pair of boots with a dark, intense look, and leans in close, offering to take her to a spicy performance. Ching-Ti is internally fuming, cursing out Jasmine for this massive misunderstanding, and forces a smile, hugging Zilan while playing the part of the perfect pet. But Zilan is watching her every move through the security cameras, scoffing at the screen and calling Ching-Ti a total spendthrift for her shopping spree. Her subordinate notes that Ching-Ti is making herself right at home. Zilan claims she's just giving the girl enough rope to hang herself, worrying that spending time with Jasmine will teach her some very bad habits. Zilan insists their partnership is strictly professional despite her obvious obsession, then suddenly cuts the meeting short, heading out to handle business personally. Meanwhile, Ching-Ti is lugging shopping bags, determined to mark her territory in the mansion, when she suddenly freezes as a dangerous face appears in the cloud. It's the chairman's sister, and she looks like she's hunting for trouble. "Hey, woman, which way to the dance hall?" the redhead demands. The tension is thick enough to cut as they stand toe-to-toe. Ching-Ti nervously points the way, praying she isn't recognized since she just took down this woman's nephew, and a reunion would be a total disaster. The streets are crawling with high-ranking beastmen, and Ching-Ti accidentally bumps into a stranger. A pair of arms catch her, belonging to the icy director of intelligence, Yang Yulan. This woman is a total nightmare to work with, and Ching-Ti is officially panicking. But Zilan arrives just in time, her eyes burning with pure, unadulterated jealousy. Chief Zilan is playing with fire, threatening to turn a rare mermaid into a gourmet meal, warning Chief Ching Xiao that mermaid flesh is a high-priced black market supplement. Chief Ching Xiao isn't backing down, telling Ching-Ti to find her if things get dangerous. Zilan just laughs, mocking the idea of a cat and a fish being friends. "How will you protect her? Let her eat you?" Zilan sneers with pure venom. The air between these two powerful women is practically crackling with lethal electricity. Zilan tells Ching Xiao to stop playing hero and focus on her little lover, revealing that someone has already headed to the dance hall for a show. Chief Ching Xiao's gaze turns icy as she prepares to make her move. Ching-Ti clings to Zilan, but her eyes are glued to the departing chief. Zilan is clearly jealous, asking if Ching-Ti wants to go home with her. Ching-Ti frantically denies it, swearing she barely even knows her. "Let's follow them," Zilan decides. "I want to watch a good show." They arrive at the club just in time to see Chief Ching Xiao's secret meeting. She's sitting with a girl named Jasmine, who is the club's main attraction. Jasmine is being incredibly bold, demanding that the chief pay up or stay. Ching-Ti is absolutely floored by the scandalous drama unfolding before her eyes. Zilan quickly covers her eyes,
apologize, claiming the show is way too mature for kids. Suddenly, a loud bang echoes through the hall as gunfire erupts from the shadows. Zilan tells Qing-Ti to stay put while she goes to handle the situation. Qing-Ti is left alone in the panic, her heart racing as people scream. She manages to regroup with Chief Qingxiao to discuss their secret mission. They need to secure a tariff proposal to stop the war for good. Be careful, Chief Qingxiao warns as a hooded figure lunges toward Qing-Ti. She doesn't hesitate, delivering a brutal kick that sends the attacker flying. Chief Qingxiao's impressed, noting that being a pet hasn't made her claws dull. If this stops the war, then every risk I take is worth it, Qing-Ti thinks. Qingxiao hands over a weapon and tells her to stay safe during combat. Qing-Ti grips the gun, her eyes burning with a new fierce determination, and tells the chief she's going to find Zilan immediately.